CeeDee Lamb, I think, needs to change his name to see the ball into your hands. So the 2025 NFL season kicked off, and it was a great game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. We had a fight. We had a season-ending knee injury. We had Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott and get ejected from the game. And then we had the first snap from scrimmage, right? It felt like there was so much tension. We've waited for football for so long that everything just happened all between the kickoff and play one. But it was a great game, a lot of positives from both teams, a few takeaways that we want to give you. We'll go into a lot more detail on next week's show. But first and foremost, let's talk about how both offenses came out red hot. 8 straight scoring drives from the teams combined, but followed up by 8 straight non-scoring drives. So a whole lot of offense in the beginning and then 0 offense at the end. But I do think the weather delay had a lot to do with that. It seemed like you were watching 2 different games. Let's go back. Let's take some things away from Dallas's offense. First of all, Dak looked like he was in midseason form. A lot of control, a lot of leadership, some comfortability. He extended plays, not necessarily running downfield, but avoided some sacks, made some kind of awkward throws that were there. And I think that the Dallas Cowboys did a good job of exposing some holes in the Philadelphia's defensive backfield. With Jalen Carter being out, the Cowboys were also able to run the ball well, and I do think that ejection had a lot to do with that. But nonetheless, the offense did look good. Now, we do have to talk about the elephant in the room. And I want all of you guys to know, I don't like always being right. And I'm not always right, but 99% of the time, I'm always right. And in this case, Dallas fans, I hated being right. I wanted to be wrong, actually. And here's where I was right. I was right because last week on the show, I told Tyler, number 1, I'm picking Philadelphia to beat Dallas, and I was right about that. Number 2, though, the reason that I was picking them is because I told Tyler, CeeDee Lamb is not going to have the game that Cowboys need him to have. He's going to start slow. It's going to be sloppy, and I didn't think he would show up. Go back and watch the show. You could see I say that. And for about 1 quarter, I was eating my words. I was fully prepared to come on the show and apologize to Cowboys Nation, to say I was wrong, own it, move forward, be a man about it. But I wasn't. I was right? CeeDee Lamb, I think, needs to change his name to see the ball into your hands because he had 3 drops that were crucial. And I would say, some would argue as well, that the later drops were game-changing. It's possible if he catches that deep ball, which was perfectly thrown by Dak Prescott, I will say, we could be sitting here having another conversation talking about how the Cowboys actually won the game, not lost the game. So we need to see some improvement by that high-paid Dallas Cowboy player, see the ball into your hands, and things could be very, very different. On the flip side, I also think that Philadelphia's offense looked amazing. Saquon Barkley was Saquon Barkley. There's not much to say about that. He can trip and fall and gain 5 yards. It's just incredible to watch him, his patience and his strength. Something to keep in mind, though, the backup running back, A.J. Dillon, now on the Eagles, is also a beast. And that's something to watch later on down the line, maybe even consider fantasy a pickup there if he's on the available in your league. But Saquon looked amazing, and Jalen Hurts looked like he did not miss a beat. He is picking up right where he left off from winning a Super Bowl. He looked like he was in playoff shape. The command, the control, and I think the difference in this game, honestly, other than the CD drops, is Jalen Hurts. I think that Jalen Hurts doesn't have his eyes just set on another Super Bowl. I think Jalen Hurts wants his name to be called at the end of the year when they talk about NFL MVP. And I got to tell you, if he plays more games like he did against Dallas, using his legs, making great throws, checking things down, relying on his run game, and then just knowing when to pop off, Jalen Hurts' name will be called as this year's NFL MVP. That's all on him, though. Early in the game, he extended plays in really crucial downs to make sure that the drive continued. And I think he ran for the first 2, if I'm not mistaken. One of them, he takes a snap, drifts right, and then ends up scoring on the other end on the pylon on the left part of the end zone. Just really, really incredible things by Jalen. I think he looked phenomenal, and I think ultimately he was the difference in this game. The other big part of the game worth talking about is how amazing Dallas's corners played. Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland went up against probably one of the best, if not the best, receiver tandem, two-man receiving group in the National Football League in A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And these are their stats combined. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith combined 4 catches, 24 yards, 0 touchdowns. If Dallas's corners can come out and play at that level all year long, they will be in the game because their front seven is about that good, where they need corners to be that shut down. There will be no blowouts. Every game will be close and competitive, and Dallas has a real chance to go and maybe win their division. And but we have to see. They have to get over this Eagles hurdle. Nonetheless, the NFC East is going to be super, super exciting this season. All the things going on there. It's going to be very competitive. You know, getting off to an 0-1 start in division play, there's a lot of time to grow for the Cowboys, but they are going to have to probably go split at least a game with the Eagles if they're going to want to win the division later on this season. So much promise. I think it was a good win for the Eagles, but I honestly also think it was a good loss for the Cowboys. A lot of promise on both sides. I'm excited to see what happens in the NFC East, how it plays out. And we could be having another Super Bowl champion coming out of the NFC East this year. Who knows? But great game. I'm excited for what's to come this season. Hey, do us a favor right now and hit the like and the subscribe button. It helps us get our content out to all the people. Also, if you don't mind, share this video with something. You can also follow us on Instagram at Fair Catch Show. You can find clips and more content right there. We're so appreciative of everyone who supports the show. It means so much to us. We hope that you follow, and you get on board, and that you watch the Fair Catch Show every week.